and welcome to Model Kit Stuff and our Focus on Tools video today, in which we're looking at this device, which is a wire straightener. So many people, once they've been building models for a little while, start wanting to look at how they can improve some of the kits that they buy. And one of the first things that people do is start adding bits of wire so that they can put cabling in. So the cable that runs from the back of a light on a tank, for example, is one of the first things that many people might well do. Adding additional cables in a cockpit, or adding pipework and trunking on a model ship. It's one of the simplest things that you can do to add a little bit of detail. And over time you can collect up quite a lot of different bits of wires, as I've done here, from domestic fittings and things that you're throwing away. Strip the wires out and you've got all sorts of different wires that you can use for upgrading your models. Obviously you can buy wire as well, and if you're going to buy wire, then I recommend having a look around things like floristry wire, which is what this copper wire is, because some of that can be very, very thin and quite flexible and quite handy. But wherever you see a little bit of wire, then certainly you should grab it and put it into your box of spares, just in case you need to upgrade something. And I have solder wire here. That's quite good. It's easy to manipulate because it's very soft, and all sorts of bits and pieces that I've collected over many years. Now, one of the features of wire is it tends to bend a little bit. Now I'm using a thick piece here to show you, so it's easy to see on camera. And sometimes you want fairly long runs of wire that run fairly evenly, so you need to be able to take these kinks out, and that can be a little bit of a problem, because what you try and do is correct the kinks, and then you're overcorrected and you end up with something that's actually quite wavy. And that's where this tool comes in. So the idea of this tool is very simple. There's three plastic, I'm not quite sure what you'd call them, but you can see the shafts with lumps on which interlock, and they're on these little metal posts here, which allow you to bring the two sides up and form a triangle. And what you simply do is you put your wire inside the middle of that little triangle, like so. You can see the wires running through there, and pull it through. And as you can see, it will take all your kinks out, and you won't quite get it into rod, but it will get it as close as you need to straight, so that you can use that on long runs, whatever you need. So, you know, if you're using something on a larger scale, or you want to replace a mast with some brass wire and you just want to straighten that up a little bit, this will do the job. They're not expensive, but they're also not easy to find. You can occasionally see them on places like Amazon and eBay, but you can also get them where people are using like jewellery making sites and that type of thing, where wire might well be used in the jewellery making process. So you can see now, just a few passes through the tool, and what was quite a curly piece of wire in all sorts of directions has become a relatively uniform length of copper wire. Now, it's easy to use, and if you can track one down, then they're not expensive, and that's the upside. The downside is they are a little limited to the gauge of the wire. So very thin wire like this, I don't know even if you can see it, you probably struggle to do. So anything under about half a see it's just passing through. Anything under about 0.5 millimetre is just a little bit too small. I know it's sort of working, but it's not quite grabbing, because it's just managing to get through the gap. But that's the only downside to it. Otherwise, it works a treat. Is it an essential tool? No, not really. You can buy rod, so you don't have to straighten wire. What this does is it just gives you a little bit of flexibility with some of the scratch building stock that you might have. Yeah, it's worth getting if you've got lots of wire like me, and sometimes you just want a little length of straight wire rather than having to source some rod. It can be very handy. So there you have it, the wire straightening tool. I hope that was of use and interest. Take care everyone, enjoy your modelling, and I will see you very soon.